Fly Like an Eagle, written by Elizabeth Van Steenwyk. She is the author of over 65 children's books. The story Fly Like an Eagle features in the book Fly Like an Eagle and Other Stories, a collection of 7 short stories about girls competing in tennis, figure skating, basketball, rodeo competition, and diving. It talks about their courage, dedication, and the challenges they face. And she is still alive. And here we go, the story Fly Like an Eagle. Swimming is a popular sport. Like other sports, it takes a lot of hard work and intense training to overcome one's fears and shortcomings in swimming. Let us read how Angie meets her particular challenge. I have never been this high off the ground in all my life, Angie thought, as she climbed the ladder to the 10-meter diving platform. Now she is standing in a 10-meter diving platform. I won't be able to do it. I can't possibly jump 10 meters down to the water. The first dive is frightening from up there. Coach Hansen's voice came to her through the microphone and loudspeaker. His voice echoed through the dark, empty stadium. He was seated in his favorite spot near the pool. You can do it, Angie. I know you can dive from there. No, I can't do it, Angie thought. And there is no way you are going to make me do this dive. She stood well back from the edge of the platform, not wanting to look down. Yet there was a strong feeling within her that drew her closer to the edge for a short, quick look at the cool blue water waiting to swallow her. Come on, Angie, time is wasting and you know you are going to jump. Angie shook her arms and legs again as if she wanted to be free of them. Then she pulled and tugged at her suit so hard that it seemed to stretch down to her thighs. Think your dive through, Angie, Coach Hansen said. Do it in your mind. I had done a front dive in the layout position 1,000,000 times before on a 3-meter platform. I know how to do it from down below, but this is different, Angie thought. Don't be ashamed to say you are afraid, Coach Hansen said. Fear is something we all have. Let's talk about what it is you are afraid of. Coach Hansen's voice went on. Is it the fear of landing wrong? I don't think so. You have done that before from the 3-meter platform and from the edge of the pool when you first began to dive. What is then? Fear of getting the wind knocked out of you? Angie looked towards him. She shook her head no. Of course not. You are not afraid of that either. Then what is it? The coach asked. I think I know. It's fear of the unknown. Is that what is bothering you? She nodded and walked back to the farthest edge of the platform. She wiped her hands on a towel. Of course, that's it, Coach, she thought. Is that so hard to understand? I have never done this before. Never felt the dive in my body going down from here. I can't dive from here. Your fear is normal, the coach voice went on. It's not natural to want to dive from up there the first time. You need someone to know when you are ready to do something you have never done before. I wouldn't let you dive if you weren't ready. Confidence will come from the dive itself. You have learned that with each new one. And she stood at the edge of the platform. She put her toes in space and waited. You may not believe it, but your body will know what to do once you are in the air, Coach Hansen said. Angie did not believe it, not for a second. She walked to the back of the platform and dried her hands again. Then she turned and slowly took 2 steps towards the edge. Her mouth felt so dry she knew she would have to swallow the whole pool to make it feel wet again. She pulled at her suit and shook her arms. That means she was at that much of fear, and she was thinking that her throat was too dry and she wanted to swallow all the water from the pool itself. She pulled at her suit and shook her arms. Look, Angie, the thing you want most right now is to get this over with, right? Angie nodded. She could not speak. It will only take you 2 or 3 seconds to be down and out of the water. Don't think, just do it. Angie stood there, shaking inside. What about all your plans for the championship and the Olympics? Coach Hansen asked. So, he's going to use that old trick on me? Angie thought, throwing the Olympics at me like a trainer throws fish to seals, as if I didn't know what he was doing. She walked back on the platform and looked down the steps, longing to use them. Okay, I have had it, the coach said. His voice sounded cold and hard. Just walk down the steps and go home if you can't do this dive. No, she thought. No, I won't. I don't want to go home back. You are not going to make a cuter out of me. She edged closer. She was telling to herself. Then, that's better, the coach said softly. Just remember to keep your body tightly controlled. If you are lame, that water will tear you apart. Now think it through. Angie, you are just about ready. I know you are. She turned to get the towel again. Then she thought, that's foolish. I keep drying my hands when I'm just going to get them wet in a second or two. That's when she knew she was going to jump. She would know it all along. But Coach Hansen had to remind her. There's that moment when you know it's going to happen. There's that moment when training takes over. That moment is now. Angie took a deep breath and pushed off, her body rising into space. She spread her arms in the swan position and felt the air touch her body gently. For a lazy second, Angie hung like a bird she had seen turning cartwheels in the sky. Fly like an eagle, she told herself. Fly. Then she felt her body begin to come down, and her mind took total control. She brought her arms over her head and kept her body and legs straight as she entered the water, causing hardly a ripple. And she stretched her dive downward before she curved back to the surface. That was not bad, Angie, Coach Hansen said as she came out of the water. But you can do better. Go back up and try it again. Right, she said and smiled. Her fear of diving from the platform was gone. So that was the end of the lesson, and here we can see the courage, determination of a girl. Read the lesson carefully and just go through the notes. Thank you for watching.